The glamorous life of astronauts. Everyone has at some point in their lives dreamt of going into space to see what wonders the universe has to offer. Unless you've seen Alien, Gravity, or actually any space film. Wow, Hollywood is really trying to crush some dreams and expectations. Here are the cold hard facts about being an astronaut that I'm afraid to say will probably crush your dreams even further. So, you want to be an astronaut? Well, the first thing you're going to need is patience, as the selection process for NASA takes 18 months. Basic requirements include having a bachelor's degree in either engineering, biological science, physical science, computer science, or mathematics. I failed to see how Pythagoras' theorem could help fly a rocket ship, but sure, go ahead. What do I know? Oh, and you also need 3 years of professional experience. Then you've got to pass the physical examination. Having skills in scuba diving, wilderness experience, and leadership can help boost your application. Then, in addition to all of this, yep, still not done, all US astronauts are required to know Russian so that they can run the International Space Station. I guess just in case all the English manuals are mysteriously destroyed or sucked out into space? On the off chance that you fit into all of these categories, you still may be out of luck, as NASA can only choose 8 to 14 people to become astronauts per year. In 2017, NASA received 18,000 applications. But do you really want to become an astronaut? To start with, the inflexible gloves astronauts have to wear cause their fingernails to fall off. And because of the microgravity environment, astronauts obviously can't walk, resulting in the skin on their feet becoming soft and also falling off. When taking off their socks, they have to do so carefully, otherwise it'll look like they're recovering from a really bad sunburn. And I'm sure they don't want chunks of dead skin floating about the place. Can you imagine instead of an eyelash you get someone's gross foot skin in your eyes? Speaking of socks, astronauts have to wear the same pair of socks and underwear for a couple of days, because there isn't any way to wash clothes in space. After clothes have got dirty, they just have to throw them away. So even basic hygiene becomes a problem. As water needs gravity to flow, making showering a little different too. Astronauts have to use no-rinse shampoo and try to use floating balls of water to wash themselves before using a vacuum-like hose to suck up all the water from their skin. The low gravity also means it's difficult to tell when you need to go to the toilet, as the bladder's stretch receptor nerves can't feel how much liquid is in the bladder, so astronauts are trained to go to the toilet every 2 hours, just in case. But there are some interesting perks to being an astronaut. For example, the space station orbits the Earth at such a high speed it only takes 92 minutes to do a complete circle, meaning that astronauts can see the sunrise and set every 45 minutes. That's roughly 15 of each in 24 hours. And hey, if you're a bit on the Hobbit size, don't worry. Because of the microgravity environment, your spine is able to straighten out, causing you to gain a few inches. It's been reported that astronauts have grown up to 5 centimeters taller while on the International Space Station. And now to answer the question you've probably all been thinking, or maybe it's just me, but how do astronauts scratch their noses when they're in the spacesuits? Well, you'll be pleased to know that there is a patch of Velcro inside the helmet just for this occasion. Wow, NASA really does think of everything, as does the Russian Federal Space Agency. They give their cosmonauts little survival kits, which sounds kind of cute until you realize it's Russia, and these survival kits include a shotgun in case of bears. No, not space bears. Although, now I kinda wish there were space bears, but the Russian Federal Space Agency was worried that upon re-entry, their cosmonauts could be stranded in the wilderness and would have to fend for themselves until rescue arrived. Then there's readjusting to life on Earth, as not only do astronauts constantly keep letting objects go mid-air, expecting them to float, but when the Apollo 11 crew, Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins, returned to Earth, they had to stay in quarantine until the Apollo 14 crew also returned from the moon to show that the moon did not have any deadly diseases. Although nowadays they don't have to go into quarantine, they do, however, have to do something worse still: customs. Yep, returning astronauts still have to go through customs and border control upon re-entry. But today I'll leave you with this. Neil Armstrong has always claimed that he was misquoted, and instead of saying, "one small step for man," he actually said, "one small step for a man." Kinda makes more sense if you ask me. Well, wasn't that out of this world? If you enjoyed the video, remember to give us a like and follow for more content like this.